what's going to happen, do you?
Should just breathe on me then.
No.
Greed, deceit and revenge all await the most haunted team in Los Angeles. Hello and welcome to Most Haunted USA. Away from the glitz and glamour of California's most famous city is a home that once witnessed the realization of the American dream. But with such wealth now lost in time, we're left with ghostly apparitions, dark shadows, mysterious voices, and severe poltergeist activity. And that is why I brought you to the very haunted Leonis, Adobe. The district of Calabasas lies at the northwest corner of Los Angeles, and in keeping with today's location, it holds a strong link to the immigrants that flooded into this promised land. Whilst the name Adobe signifies the method originally utilised in building this ranch, a certain Miguel Leonis also lent his name to the construction. A settler from the Basque province that borders France and Spain, Leonis soon gained notoriety as ruler of the San Fernando Valley. But did the wealth and power gained from owning an 8,000-acre ranch only contribute to his sudden downfall? A theory exemplified by the mysterious circumstances surrounding his death in 1889. His impoverished widow saw little of his wealth and spent years fighting the same court battles that had hounded her unloving husband. Was this a betrayal that she took to the grave? And do any other traumatic tales still haunt the modern-day museum that we investigate today?
I think the most amazing thing about this American tour is the fact that we're seeing such different places. And now we're at the Leonis Adobe.
The ghostly figure of a man resembling Miguel Leonis has been seen on the first-floor corridor. Could he be one of the many spirits that haunt this very active location?
He was a smuggler, came from quite a good family, and when he was found out, he had to flee the country and came here to California. He got a job on a ranch not far from here. It was partly owned by 3 Chumash Indians and also a gentleman called Joaquin Romero. He was a big drinker, and eventually Leonis managed to buy his share of the ranch. He then married an Indian, the daughter of one of the 3 Chumash Indians.
This bunkhouse is the same size and in the same position as the original bunkhouse. Maybe that's why so much paranormal activity occurs in this particular area. Dark shapes have been seen at the windows, strange noises and voices. But most alarmingly, furniture moves all on its own without any logical explanation.
When he died, he left over $300,000 and was in fact the 3rd richest man in the state of California. But he only left his wife, Espiritu, $10,000. It took her the best part of 16 years battling through the courts to eventually get the tenureship of this property. And unfortunately, she died soon after getting control of the house.
After her death, Espiritu's coffin was laid out here in the living room, right by the mirror that is said to be a portal to the other world. Could this be one of the reasons why there's so much activity in this room, from dark shadows to strange noises, and also people being touched by unseen hands?
There are all sorts of ghostly incidents. Don Miguel is seen standing by the front door. He's seen standing on the staircase. Espiritu is often seen standing in her bedroom.
Her ghost has been seen many times standing by her chest that stores her clothes. Indentations have been seen on the bed, and she's said to take a strong dislike to men that enter the room.
And on many occasions, there's a very strong smell of rose perfume, the perfume that she used to wear.
Even though this house behind me is reproduction, everything inside it is authentic. So could it be the furniture or the building that's causing strange knocking sounds that emanate throughout the house? We have 24 hours to find out. Although we now feel well versed in exploring just what America's haunted houses have to offer, this particular paranormal investigation will provide its own individual complications. However, parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe is definitely prepared.
So what do you think of Leonis Adobe? To me, well, I've never ever seen anything like it. How do you think tonight's going to go?
Well, I feel like we're in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's a ranch, it's got that whole cowboy feel about it. It's a fantastic place, absolutely fantastic. Tonight's investigation, I think, will be really, really good. There's a lot of history here.
Now, the people that would have been here, as it is set up now, they obviously would have spoken fluent Spanish. So when we're doing our seance, I think we've covered this before, do they understand English if spirits are around? And if not, do we need to interpret? Are we going to do that this evening?
Well, I think there's two aspects to that. Knowing that neither of the mediums actually understand Spanish means that if they actually come up with any words, it's an example of glossolalia, which means that they're speaking a language that they have no knowledge of. And that, for me, is quite evidential. Now, if they do start speaking Spanish, then obviously we'll translate. And I have a basic knowledge of Spanish that we can actually do that.
What about some of the paranormal activity for you, which is the more intriguing?
By far the most compelling testimonies are those of people that said that they've been touched by some unseen spirit. They've actually sensed that it's a woman, but they've certainly been touched and there's nobody around them. That means the crew have to be extra vigilant. They have to report any sensation, either sense of presence or if they've been touched anywhere. So they really have to report it and be very conscious of that fact.
Our latest investigation in the land of opportunity offers Most Haunted another glimpse into the USA's eclectic origins. But presented with the reconstruction of a ranch called Leonis Adobe, what can we expect to learn from mediums Derek Okora and David Wells as they walk around for the first time in this allegedly haunted property? With so much history in this American home, we wondered whether Derek would pick up on the two strong characters that resided here. The living room seemed the perfect place to start, as many people had witnessed dark shadows and eerie noises within this room.
Hey, Derek.
Yeah,
What do you feel in this room, your initial thoughts?
Well, actually, there's, my first impressions as we walked into the atmosphere is of movement of a spirit. More than one, actually. A couple of spirit people. There's one, I feel that this particular one, he'd be like a shadowy figure. He would not show himself. The feelings here as if I'm getting movement. It's like there could be something, maybe, just as an example, on the table there. He'd like literally pick up an item, because I get as if I'm going to this window here with this one. And it's like he's